if I'm getting multiples offer letter, I will be also goes to HR. So it's a tit for tat is going on. Then why it is going on a blaming game? Hey, I have done masters. Hey, I know the Python. I know the SQL. Hey, I have done lots of toy project. Even I have done experience. Why they are not considering me? I can communicate because the work which I have done in the thesis and the interview which they were asking the question during interviews, it was really completely different. Referrals are just going in just a flip of your fingers. You are getting lots of interviews there, and some recruiters used to consider you. Only two things matters. One is your talent, and second is your luck. I believe because some of the time, 70% of the time your resume is going directly to the recruiters. They are not checking any ATS score. Honestly, I'm not believing with the ATS score. Your talent will give you a somewhere in future a good opportunity to. I was giving lots of interviews, and then I was thinking, okay, just good company. I just want it. Just good company of I want. I was feeling like no, they won't select me. They won't select. And for your understanding, if you're not getting any opportunity, then what you can do, you can grab good projects from. So try to explain your things first. That will be very helpful in your communication, and day by day you can understand, and even you can see how you are improving your communication. More thing what is going in the market, one thing or more you can have to check the JD of every job, whether you want to get switch or not. If I can able to be in IT or in technical area, anybody can. It's just about to spend your time, have your practice. Yeah, I have delivered very good interview, but still they are not considering. Why?
Today, we have a guest, Priya Sinha, a talented data scientist specializing in artificial intelligence at IBM. She holds a master's degree in computer science, big data analytics from the Central University of Rajasthan, Jaipur. Previously, she worked as a data scientist at TCS for 4 years, gaining extensive experience in the field. In this podcast, Priya shares valuable tips and actionable insights for students and aspiring data scientists, helping them navigate their journey in the world of data. Let's give warm welcome to Priya. Hi Priya, how are you?
Hey, hi Chaitanya, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. First of all, I would like to thank you for coming to my podcast and giving us a valuable time. The knowledge you are going to share us with today, that will be really valuable for all the data students and the aspirants who want to enter in this industry. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, feeling so privileged to join this meeting.
So, first point I want to discuss with you about your educational background and professional journey. How your education started and how you ended up with education, how you entered in a professional journey, and how was your professional journey going right now? We want to know more about it.
Yeah, if I'm talking about my educational background, so I started with my BSc in mathematics from Patna University, one of the good colleges, that is a Patna Women's College. That was completely a non-technical background, which I opted that time. Then after that, I have taken 1 year of drop because I just want to do something which is very practical to implement in this industry. Because of something, I couldn't able to do my that BTech that time. So something technical I just want to achieve and fulfill in my life or in the career. So what I did, I start searching what are the other stream I can opt. I don't want to do again the MSc in mathematics. So something where I can join the IT industry. So I have searched where what are the other opportunity I can opt. I have completed my mathematics honors. So I got to know that regarding the data science and data analytic things, that whosoever the students from economics, mathematics, physics, chemistry, statistical background, they can opt for data science, otherwise data analytics. So that time I was curious about data analytics. So then I got to know that 4 universities in India who are giving education in data science. That time my motto was data analytics, but the course which I have joined, that was completely data science and data analytics both. So I got to know about 4 university. One is from St. Joseph College from Bangalore. One is St. Xavier, that is from the Ahmedabad, and one is from the Ramakrishna Mutt, I think in Kolkata, that is, and one is Central University of Rajasthan. I opted for all the four universities and got admission. At last, I got the admission in the Central University of Rajasthan. They have some India level CUSAT exam to clear their entrance exam, then get to the admission. And later, I also got to know that whatever the four university which I filled the form, that is sponsored by TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. There they have designed the course curriculum, and even the lab they have sponsored. They have some tie up the placement also. So I was searching something which can have some placement facility also. But deep down the line, we got to know that during our joining, that MOU got ended. So later, what happened? We were the students who went into the TCS area to give written exams and interviews. So that is the process. The course which I opted, that is completely pure data science course. After doing those courses, I got to know that, okay, now I have a two field, either data analytics or data science. So, and our end semester was completely based on the internship. I also got the internship in TCS. Then after that, one exam and the interview I have appeared, and then I got the place there. This is how I got my journey from completely non-technical background to technical. I remembered my college days, how I was, even I don't know ABCD of a coding, I don't know, but yeah, I struggled a lot to understand everything, and here I am, you can say. So yeah, this is my background, and the course, the degree which I opted, that is the MSc Computer Science Specification in Big Data Analytics, and that is from the Data Science and Analytics.
So at what point of view that you said that you have to choose the two careers like data science or data analytics? Why don't you think about the data visualization or SQL developer or the machine learning engineer or the Python developer?
I just want to be the queen of everything. So data scientist knows everything. Visualization, even the deployment, machine model building, understanding the data, gathering the data, and getting insight from the data. The data scientist who can do everything. So I just want to be that. So I thought, okay, now because in our course curriculum, we got every knowledge, every part of knowledge. So we are the one who got a collective knowledge of everything. So that is the one that where I'm landed as a data scientist right now.
So we want to know that which company you're working right now and how that one is beneficial for your professional growth in 2024.
Yeah, currently I'm in IBM. You know very well about, I think. So after thesis, I got opportunity in IBM, and here I'm working as a data scientist, specifically in the artificial intelligence. What happened? It is something which I grabbed from TCS, and then it get into the IBM. The technology and the opportunity and the POC which I have delivered in Tata Consultancy, which is the one who has given me advantage to join the IBM. They have opportunity for the artificial intelligence, specific in the generative AI, LLMs, large language models, and everything. So that is the thing where I am landed in the IBM. So what their main motto and their work from throughout my professional journey, I always have been the part of the BFSI domain, the banking and financial services. Means I used always serve a client who is from a bank, to Australian client I have served, and now here again a bank I got as a client. So IBM is a service based where I got my job. That is the work, and how we are working here, what is the main role here, is completely core end-to-end work which we are here working. It's starting from completely large language modeling here, even how do you do the deployments and everything. We are coming under the team of 6 people here. Only the 2 data scientists were, one senior and one is junior, and apart from other people which are related to SREs and all. So this is what I am here.
Yes, so you joined IBM with recently only 2 or 3 months, right?
Yes, 17 September. In September I have joined recently, most recently.
Yeah, so my next question is to you, how you cracked the interview? What was your job application process to get into IBM? I want for the IBM, okay? And because nowadays getting job not so much easy to crack the interview and everything, because the resume shortlisting also too difficult because of the ATS system and everything. So we want to know that and tricks you followed throughout your process.
Okay, starting with my initial stage, it was completely a 3 months of a time. After dropping a paper in TCS, I remember it's completely a three months of a time. I get my stairs from here to here. How I cracked the IBM interview, I paid a lot, because the work which I have done in the TCS and the interview which they were asking the question during interviews, that was really completely different. So what I did, I started with a very good resume. I made a very crisp and concise resume where I will suggest it should be a one page always, because at this my experience, everyone wants a one page of resume. So I have spent my lot of time during making a resume, how I can attract the crowd. How I can, because my main interest towards banking and main core data science technology. So I have designed my resume, even some of the project I opt personally to showcase during interviews, so that I can attract the crowd. And if you are counting as ATS, Naukri.com and other sites, so they have some key points. I know you know very well. Whatever the vacancies are coming, I used to note it down that these are the points such kind of a company requires. So I used to put in my resume, and also in Naukri.com I used to update 2 times a day. Daily I used to update my resume, my profile in Naukri.com, whether it would be a simple dot or it be making again, adding a skill, deleting my resume, again updating there. So these are the things I used to do. And if you are asking but how I prepared, that was a long journey. Actually, whatever the interviews I used to went through, I used to make a note of every questions I used to go through. Whatever I answered, I used to justify with Google or my previous notes, and whatever I have answered, is it correct? Okay, if is it correct, I used to read about more. Something someone will ask beyond that, how I will react. So I used to do this also. I used to make a notes of everything. Sometime what happened, I used to deliver interview perfectly. I thought that was my assumption that yeah, I delivered very perfect interview. But later I got to know that okay, I only talked the things which I have delivered. It's not that much relevant what interviewer wanted that time. So I used to study whatever the questions were coming. I used to study, and in whole my interview journey, I would say a big thank you to Krish Nayak, who has great data science view
Even
to
I am.
understand in depth. So he is the man who played a very good role in my cracking the interviews. So I used to went to their all the videos, whatever the related to some their fields, even the LLM and the interview which I have cracked in the IBM, that helps a lot. This is how I prepared for that. And also what I used to do, I used to apply everywhere. Even in the LinkedIn, I used to ping people's whatever the recruiter I can able to see. When I draw first time a paper, I used to make a one headline in LinkedIn that serving notice period, and I used to like everybody's post. Even I used to comment so that my profile visibility would be a very great in LinkedIn. If I'm liking someone's some post, it will show to friends of friends to friends, and they can see okay, this is the girl who is open for work, and even she is the serving notice period, and so that I can grab my desired job. So this is how I use the LinkedIn. And for Naukri, I already explained. And sometimes referrals played a very good role in LinkedIn. Even your friends referrals are just going in just a flip of your fingers. You are getting lots of interviews there, and some recruiters used to consider you. So that is the third thing which played a very good role in my switching.
So Priya, you got that hack about the Naukri that if you update your file for the half an hour or the 1 hour, your profile gets outside in the list of the recruiter.
Yeah.
Even I know that when I was applying for the want to change the company, that time I got to know this hack. But do you think that nowadays the Naukri is crowded?
Yeah, it is extremely crowded. Everybody is just like following the trend or following the crowd. Okay, he or she can able to switch. Okay, I can able to also switch without knowing that whether you have a potential to crack or not the interviews. So I would suggest first make yourself that much capable without getting disheartened. So without preparing and without you have a potential or without getting a good experience from your current organization, and only dropping your resume over the Naukri, I don't think it's a good way. First, grab some understanding, grab some good projects, so I would suggest that much. Even in LinkedIn, I can see lots of us want to be in data science. So that is crowd is a lot. Even some of the very misguided crowd are there. Yeah.
And also, I want to know that talk about the ATS. There are the many websites. They shows your resume score of your ATS score. How do you think that are authentic websites, or they show proper score of our resume or the CV? Do you think?
Yeah, honestly speaking, I haven't checked. Only I have checked the Naukri.com ATS score, how your resume is best or not. Because most of the time your resume is going directly to recruiters. Some of the recruiters used to ping you directly over LinkedIn. It happened with me. So there, I don't think ATS score matters. If your resume is to the point, and things are very clear. Your skills is ditto to their requirements. So I don't know. I think 50 or 60% ATS is playing the role to select your resume, and rest of your resume design and your skill set will be the main hero there.
Yeah, because I saw many articles on the some of the website about the ATS system. Okay, if for example you are the HR, you are the posting any job role regarding data science, and I am an applicant. When I apply for your job role, that you have said the words or the keywords that are favorable for that job role, that the words match with my resume or the CV, my resume will get shortlisted. Then do you think that the third party website are judging our resume, because you are the selecting my resume by the your keyword? So how they don't know that the keyword is preferable or noun pronoun is used? They shows that things are mistake. These are the buzzwords. This sentence is grammatically not good. Think that really matters.
Only two things matters. One is your talent and second is your luck, I believe. Because some of the time, 70% of the time your resume is going directly to the recruiters. So they are not checking any ATS score. Honestly, I'm not believing with the ATS score. Your talent will give you somewhere in future a good opportunity to anyhow.
Yes, even I don't believe in it.
Yeah. Say high five.
I think that was the best business to do.
Yeah.
That you can create the website of the ATS friendly, check things. People upload, collect the 100 from each resume.
It is also scare. It is giving.
Scams, yeah.
But to say it's something fair. I prepared everything. I made my resume good. Everything whatever I can do, and ATS is not accepting my resume. That I can say you don't have luck there. If you have a luck somewhere, I believe luck is also playing a good part in your life. So I would suggest, apart from ATS score, just focus on your talent and your exposure. So wherever you're getting opportunity, you won't lose. That's it. When do your zero place? So it's better to focus on, because ATS score is somewhere to just give you a kind of fear inside you. You have to make such kind of resume. You have to be this ATS specific. So leave that. That step you can skip. Make your resume crisp. That's it.
Yes, right. So when you are changing the job from, do you have anything in mind that I want to join the IBM company or the service-based company? Means you don't think about the product-based or startup?
It was just a sudden surprise for me. I never thought that I am going to join IBM. And frankly speaking, when I was searching, I don't know how it is playing in the market the way I got to know that right now. What is the importance of IBM? That time I was like, okay, I got a call from IBM. I need to appear for the interview. I just sat there. That's it. And later when, because lots of interviews I was getting that time. I was giving lots of interviews, and then I was thinking, okay, just good company. I just wanted just good company of I want. I was feeling like, no, they won't select me. The questions what they have asked, that was really tough. I was thinking, no, why they wanted me? Then later I got to know that, okay, the answers which I have given, that was a great. So that was surprise for me. I'm getting inside IBM because here the things and the work is next level. I'm just like, the thing which I wanted, I got.
Okay, great to hear that. I want to ask you one thing regarding if anyone asks for the referral as a fresher. Okay, I'm talking about the fresher. How he or she can approach for the referral, and please tell us that for which person they can ask the referral in the company, for the senior level, junior level, HR, or any team lead.
I would suggest go to a mid-level associate. Like I'm the mid-level. I'm not that much senior. I'm not that much fresher. I'm not lead. Someone, if I already have given my best performance in my team, if I'm pushing someone's resume to my team, they will consider, okay, she is good, and if she is putting any resume to me, there would be any good chances to selection. So let's do first this thing, mid-level associate, and second is team lead, is also because most of the recruitment is coming direct from that. So that is also. And HR, sometimes HRs are not respond. They have a bundle of resumes. They have to analyze those. So most of the time I have seen, if HR is directly contacting you, that is valid because they have requirement. If you are asking for the job and everything, they won't. If I'm saying, if you are asking for a fresher, so this is if you are asking for in MNCs, completely MNCs, there this thing will play, like mid-level associate, then TL will play a role to get a job. HR came later. If a fresher, I have seen lots of the India level exams are going on for freshers. From there, they can take entry. In MNCs, I haven't seen any fresher got a direct entry. So for fresher, I would suggest if you're contacting the mid-level company, okay, you can directly contact to HR or any people from their organization. They can even one of research such positions are here for fresher in IBM. So that is only for internship, not the placement. So far, what I have a knowledge. So that is also from coming from they are getting internship, not the job. But for counting for the job, I have seen lots of friends who got direct job as a fresher in mid level companies. And so that is also great way to approach there. And also second thing is the go to their career portal. That is also a best way to get a job. They used to evaluate your profile. Lots of the company has a very standard process to get evaluation. Yeah, that's the one thing.
Because most of the job portals only help for the getting the job. Moreover, they look into that only first priority. Yeah. So my next point of discussion is about your personal project. How many personal projects you are done when you are pursuing final year, and how that projects help you throughout your job application process, and what personal projects you are done? Can you please tell more about it?
Yes, actually, the course which I have done, MSc in Computer Science Specific Data, that is completely a pure data science course. So there, every semester we have 2 to 3 projects which we have to, for our willingness, you have to do. That was the trend of my college. In the last semester, we have done plenty of some of them from our college and some of industrial level, like as an internship. So if I'm counting my good project, one is from the stock market, which I have done, which played a very good role in even getting job in TCS and getting a switch also. That played a very good role. If you are getting any project from any organization as an internship, that would be a best for you. As a fresher, that would be a really best for you. And for your understanding, if you're not getting any opportunity, then what you can do, you can grab good projects from Kaggle. Lots of trendy projects are there which has very good valuable things are there which are requiring in industry. Even I have seen lots of projects which Krish Naik used to showcase in their live sessions that are really very helpful. Everybody knows freshers are not getting that much exposures because they are not working in any organization, but have a basic clarifications, basic understanding, getting understanding of any data. You have done some toy project yourself. That would be very good. If you want, should be your interest specific also, like where you want to land your interest, whether it would be a computer reason, it would be a banking area. You have to first select your domain, like where you want to, whether you want to go in a very core data science work or want to do authentic modeling, that, or you want to go black box kind of modeling, like generative AI, large language modeling and everything. So you have to be clear yourself whether you want to do predictive analytics only or you want to go NLP area. So according to your interest, you have to classify or shortlist your interest and then approach towards some kind of project. I would suggest if someone is going towards NLP, it is a vast area you can go. Even in computer vision is also a very good area you can opt for. So for everything, you should be very specific so that you can get a job as a fresher. And if you have a basic understanding of everything, so that would be also a plus point. Later in the industry, you will increase, or if you will get your interest towards in which area you have to go. So it's on you. But yeah, I would suggest first clear your basic understanding. That is the main role for a fresher, and your communication is also requires. A good communicator is a win-win situation for a fresher. If you have a basic understanding and if you have a good communication level. So what else a company requires from a fresher? I think that's enough for a fresher to get a very good job.
Yes, as you say, the communication part, can you please tell us what are the soft skills that are required for the data scientist or data analyst as a fresher? Because communication is the important and the priority, even the storytelling. And what are the others?
First, you have to explain your problem to any customer or your teammate, anyone who is coming in your professional journey. From industry, nobody wants your English is a very high level, your vocabulary is very good. No, you have a basic explanation how to explain your work. Only that is required. You can able to connect each and every dot. If somebody is saying your project is employee retention, then you should know how to explain your object. What is your problem statement? Now, technical English is easier than a very hi-fi English. So if you know the concept, algorithm from machine learning, if you know what is SVM works, even in Hindi then what you can do, you can easily explain. Communications relates to your concept also. If you can able to understand the logic behind anything, you can explain. I think you can explain. You will be trying to explain anything. So if you want to communicate, you have to clear your concept and logic also. In data science specifically, I have seen lots of data science, they They can't speak, they can't communicate in that much a good communicator way, but still they are the king of their project. Why? They have a good understanding of their work and they can able to explain in those in bits and parts. So try to explain your things first. That will be very helpful in your communication, and day by day you can understand and even you can see how you are improving your communication. Communication is a key. I agree completely. That connects with your logic also, your concept also. Yeah.
Right. The soft skills are very important
Very
to
important.
explain what you are doing. Just not about the work you have done the work and submitted to the team lead or anything. You have to explain each and everything that you are done. You are the good storyteller. Then only you can survive.
Yes. Even lots of, if you are going in a service-based company, you have seen you have to start with the client dealing. So how you will deal your client without knowing how to communicate, what he or she is saying, how you will understand, how you will you explain. In most of the MNCs, you will be facing international client. In their grabbing their accent is a tough one. So I would say just work upon your communication first, everybody. It is a nice, or it is a very, what to say, logical way to get a job in as a fresher in industry. If you can communicate, people are also thinking that okay, he or she can communicate. Okay, if I am explaining, he or she can able to explain to client also. So communication is the key thing also here. One of the key thing. I won't say only the one thing. It's a one of the key thing.
Priya, I want to know that what self-learning resources you used in your daily to update your. Do you for any book or any channel, any website you go through daily to update yourself?
Yeah, not any book in this era. I think 90% of people are not using any kind of book. They are going to Google. So first thing I explain in my regarding Krishna, their video is that they are explain. Everything is very good. Any if a person who is completely from non-technical background, he or she want to be in technical background, Krishna has everything to map those students. That is one. And second, I would say go to Kaggle also. They have plenty of very good project, their code, their explanation, how you can rectify or your performance of a model, everything Kaggle. And third thing, lots of good you can see medium post data science towards data science posts. They are launching everything to the point and even up to date. So that is also. And apart from that, you can search according to the market trend. Like recently, generative AI came into the picture. So everything is related to generative AI. How everything you can connect to the generative AI. This is how you can make yourself to date. And some of the last thing which will help you your surround, how what friends are working upon that, what your colleagues are working upon that. Means if you are talking to your in organization, and if you are talking 1 hour to anyone, you will get lots of plenty things, he or she, whether in the what is going on in this picture. Even if you want more thing what is going in the market, one thing or more, you can have to check the JD of every job, whether you want to get switch or not. Just go through the JD of everything in the link. You can find out what is going in the current market. You can learn from there also. So this is how I used to update myself to survive in this IT industry.
So, Priya, in your opinion, what matters the most, degree or skills?
Both plays their role in their place. Degree, I say, if you're earning your degree, skill is also required there. Like me, I came from non-technical background, then jump into a technical course. How? First, I got my degree. That degree plays a good role, but it would be from where you are getting. Lots of online courses is also there. Offline courses is also there. But where you are going means according to your potential. Like me, a girl from non-technical background requires a full-time course because I don't know how things are going on in the market, even how I can learn the coding and everything. So for like me, I need a complete course, then I can upskill my skills. And a person who is completely from a good background, knows the coding and everything, he or she need some online courses he can able to grab then some projects. So it depends on person to person. I won't say I can compare both. Depends on person to person. You have to be your degree also, you have to be your skills also, because lots of roles are depends on degree. Like recruiters are searching whether you have done your master's or PhD. There also plays a very good role. So it depends on person to person and requirement to requirement.
Yes, can you please tell us more about the courses and certificates qualification that are valuable for the data science or data analytics that you have done and you feel like that this is the valuable?
Yeah, when I was started my data science journey as an educational background, that time not that much colleges in India who has initiated the data science courses. But right now, lots of universities which are proposing such kind of courses, even with a very good placement. Some of the universities I would like to raise a name. First is MIT Pune. That is, they have also one course curriculum of the data science. And four university which I have mentioned earlier, like Central University of Rajasthan, St. Joseph University of Bangalore, St. Xavier University of Ahmedabad, and Ramakrishna Math. They have one complete, I think, boys. Now they have made it a completely boys college, but their monks have very good knowledge of statistics. Really mind blowing. I didn't get chance to be part of their university, but really I found they have very valuable knowledge to give. So those are there, and some of now I have seen lots of BTech universities also started their courses in data science. I don't remember the much name. And if you are from a very experienced person in industry and IT industry already, you can opt for a diploma courses also. IIT Kanpur who is providing a diploma course in data science. That is diploma, but still they are asking good money also and given a very good place. I think 1 year that the diploma course is there, and they only require experienced people. So IIT Kanpur is also there, and I don't have that much knowledge right now because in my time that time not that much college who is initiating. One more college that is from Bhopal, Makhanlal Chaturvedi College, that is also giving, that is complete pure government college and less fee you can be there, and they are also proposing one course MSc in Big Data Analytics. So yeah, course is good. Placement is I don't think there. I don't have that much knowledge right now. That is also one of the good one. And apart from that, you can search over the Google. So far, I have this much knowledge if you're up for college stuff. And for online courses, there is I think Bits Pilani is giving you online course in data science. So that is also valuable. I have seen lots of experienced people is opting for that. Even some of the students also. So that is also good one. And more you don't want to spend your money, then lots of online resources are there. You can go through there. There are even Coursera courses, Udemy courses. You can have your professional certifications also if you want to be there in cloud side. So lots of things related to your data science courses are in AWS, Azure, GCP. So internet is just flooded with material. You have to only grab well according to your money spending criteria. So yeah.
The one thing I want to tell the audience about the Priya Sinha is the research. The research for finding the college the Priya Sinha had done was fantastic because they are telling the college name still now after they're completing the masters within the 3-4 years. They have done the amazing research time because many of the students stuck at the point how to choose the college or how to choose the program. But the tips we get from you about the college and the things, you have to research what you are doing. It's very important. Take your time, but do the research and then only get into the education. It's not easy like that. The college is near to my home and I just take the admission and I will get the place in Google or hack companies that just lavish things. But yeah, you can do the research about the college, those who want to enter in the industry.
Yeah, completely agree. Because
Yes.
everybody's story is different. So what suits your life, then do there. Don't follow the crowd, I would say.
Yes, as you say that you are a non-technical background and enter in a technical industry. In 2024, what roadmap you will suggest if anyone wants to come into the tech industry from the non-technical background like commerce or arts?
If I can able to be in IT or in technical area, anybody can. It's just about to spend your time, have your practice. Because I know how I struggled to get to know how to code. So anybody who can able to make logics, can build logics, can easily able to be in technical area. It is not any rocket science, nothing. It's your hard work, it's your understanding, it's your act to never give up. That only plays a role.
Yes, I want to ask that the very important question because this question is first point when you are getting the job or entering the industry about the salary. What is the salary range for the data scientist or data analyst in India right now going on in 2020? Please tell us about the fresher also and the experience level also like 5+ years of experience, and if anyone graduated who are entering the job, and also tell us how it varies from service based, product based, and startup.
If you're joining as a fresher, here talent will play. Like you asked me, na, degree or talent, then here talent, because as a fresher, you have peer for their exams, their coding round, or all India coding rounds. So if you have a talent, you will get a very good salary. If I'm talking about any MNC, so their starting package is 3.6 so far I know. Whether you are fresher or whether you are from data science or data analytics, they are just mass recruit. And if you are very good data science, so what I know from my friends, what they have got placement, I think maximum I have a knowledge of 12 LPA as a fresher, one of my friend, and average 7 LPA you are getting as a fresher. That is MNC scenario. Product based, I don't know. Whatever their requirement, if you have a potential, they are giving 20 also. So in product based, they have a different criteria. And if you are asking about the startups, they have also, I have heard about the 12 LPA, 15 LPA, because startup has a good potential to give a salary to a fresher so that they can get a very good work from also. So that is the one thing as a fresher. And if I'm talking about experience, 5 years of experience, I'm the one who is below 5 years of experience. So if you have been in a same company from starting from your fresher to 5 years, then I don't know where you have joined, what is the hike of your company. It's all completely different. If you have joined as a 9 LPA, then getting hike and hike, you will be touching 12, 13. If you are getting an MNC kind of hike like 7, 8%, then there I can assume only this much you will be touching. If you are got switch in one or two company, then I can assume your package would be beyond 20 LPA easily in data science, because data science industry is booming, and people and from the organizations, they requires very good data science candidate, because you know now how much is this area is crowded. Data scientist, a fake data scientist also, people only filling in the resume, but they don't have any project experience and the skill. So if you are good, I'm saying skill matter. If you have a skill, you will have a very good package. If you're not getting at this moment, you will get infinitely. So this is how it is work. And I have seen people who is getting 35 LP also as a fresher. They are outlier. Whatever your skill, your talent, you will be getting a good package. It's not depend on this is the bracket only data science as a fresher you are getting. You can learn, then you can earn also.
Priya, as per your experience or your expertise, what is the best time means or the best some year you can just switch the job for the increment or the professional growth? I can.
If you're asking for my planning, so first I want to have very good experience from whatever they are providing me. Good project. They have really plenty of good project and technology. So I want to be here. At least 3 years, I want to be here. Later, I don't know if I am gonna liking their culture and working. Hiking is I'm getting very nice pay. Then it's fine. I want to be stay, because IBM is also one of the good place like TCS to stay. And if somebody is in my place want to getting switch, so what I have seen the trend, people are getting switch in 2 years, 2.5 years. Generally, on an average, I'm seeing 2 years gap. Everybody is switching who want to get a good experience in new technology or want a good salary hike. So they are switching. This is a trend. 2 years. Because in 1 year, you're not gonna learn anything from any organization. Your onboarding is going on. You have to do plenty of courses. So how you will learn? What you have shown your organization, and now you are thinking to get switched. So disagree for that for 1 year.
Yes. Within 1 year, just we can do the things only in company.
Exactly.
So next point I want to discuss with about the recession and competition in data industry. Do you think the recession is going on in India right now in the data industry, and how was the competition going on? And is there any specific time of the recession in India? So what do you think about it?
Right now, market is good. If you want to get switch everybody, you can. This is the time, because January 2024, I have seen the boom in the market. Even I am getting lots of calls right now. Also, I have joined good organization, but still I'm getting. If you're talking about recession, it was before in 2023 and in 2022 recession was, because I was also trying to get switched previously to know the market also, and where I stand also. I was also checking that. So I have seen you're not getting, even you got ghosted by recruiters. So that time market was not. Right now its market is really good. So this is a time. And one more time, if you want to get switched, try to start preparing from January to March, because after appraisal, lots of people are putting their pay. So if you have a potential, you start getting called, because every organization requires a good people to join there. So that is also a good time. Don't get switched during the November December, I would suggest.
So, Priya, tell me that the one mistake you had done in professional life and what did you learn from it?
Behaving like a popcorn is one of my mistake. Like a popcorn, you have seen how it is going to jump in a pressure cooker. Or when I joined, I was fresher. I know how I was thinking that, hey, I have done masters. Hey, I know the Python. I know the SQL. Hey, I have done lots of toy project. Even I have done experience. Why they are not considering me? I can communicate without knowing the depth of the thing. I used to behave like that, and later, day by day, I got to understand. First listen, first understand what is your capability. I used to pretend also, yeah, I have delivered very good interview, but still they are not considering. Why? This was my gesture during as a when I was fresher. Later, day by day, I get to understand the answer which I have given is not that much to them. I am just explaining him whatever I learned. What they have asked, I'm not answering in that way. So that is my one of the behavior. I used to blame people. I was the one not the who ready to understand. Even deep down, I know that I'm doing a wrong thing, but still I used to pretend to people that no, I'm good. I delivered just because of an image purpose, or I don't know what means. Like, how can I will be wrong? So that is my gesture, and I have seen this gesture in most of the freshers. So if somebody is explaining you something, try to understand, try to listen, because I have seen a people who is experienced. He is scolding you, she is scolding you, but still he or she is giving a very right answer. If you're not getting at this stage, just shut your mouth. Try to understand later, but understand. This is what I got from my experience. And when I start rectifying this, I am getting a very good response from people also, and getting a good opportunity also. Even in this 3 months of journey of my interview cracking process, I have seen what I was saying, what I was delivering. Only talking irrelevantly is not the thing. You have to be very to the point during interviews, which I used to do before 3 months. Like I was only delivering an interview and then blaming the recruiter that why they are not selecting me. I was in such manner. Then I get to know that later that they have asked what is the exemption of linear regression, and what I was saying, I was only telling the stories, not giving the to the point. What are the 4 points for their actual assumptions? So I start going through the videos and contents exactly the answer. Only bluffing the interviewer is not a good thing. So that I got to learn, and now I'm implementing in my completely in personal and the professional life, and that is also giving a very good result I have seen so far.
Priya, my next point of decision is about the HR. Okay, means I want to ask about the how HR behaves with the freshers. How you feel that, because some of the news and articles says that they have not culture with the all the sense, or they don't think about our mental health and our work. They just want the result. What do you think about that?
One thing I would like to mention, it's not about HR. Nobody here cares about anybody's mental health. You have to be prepared for yourself to take care of your mental health. So blaming others is not a good thing. This is what I was thinking previously, that okay, how HR will behave, how they will ghosting me. If I'm getting multiple offer letter, I will be also ghost to HR. So it's a tit for tat is going on. Then why it is going on a blaming game? So nobody here cares about you. You are the one, and your close one is the one here cares about you. So don't blame.
Okay, Priya. So I want to know that right now you're working in IBM company. Okay. So if we take the IBM company in India, and if we take the example of IBM company in USA, San Francisco or the California, the difference is too much high to treat their employees in terms of all the things, salary, their time and everything. Because there is my one friend in USA. He told me that once we enter in the job, we scared to do the work in company in India. But there is the opposite. The company is scared from the employees. They will case on us regarding their mental health and everything. So how the company will handle in India the scenario? What do you think about it?
If I'm saying, it's both sides. Associates are also giving some kind of fare to HR. I will leave after getting billing. I'm now critical resource. I can leave. I can go anywhere. Even the company is giving some kind of fare to associate. If you're not working such way, then we will fire you. So if you're talking about US market or India markets, see, we are the Indians, and most of the HRs in India and the company who's a higher on, they are also in. So whatever the behavior from both sides, fine, because whatever we are behaving, likewise they are also reacting. Newton's third law. Every reaction is, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So how they are behaving in US, they are giving in such manner of a reaction. So it's just a point of gossip. That's it. If you are okay, 90% of the time you won't face such kind of difficulties. 10% is negligible, you can neglect, because not everything is 100% perfect. So first you have to take care of yourself, how you are behaving to others, how honest you towards your work, your area, your even personal life. So that's the only thing. If you are good, not at this stage, in future something will good exactly happen to you. So just get out, so outside from such kind of gossip. If you want a masala or a gossip, okay, be there. But I have seen in my personal experience, whatever I am behaving, I am getting such man. So this is what I can say.
Priya, you are from Lucknow. You completed a master's Jaipur. You done your first job in Bengaluru, and now you are in Pune. Okay, and you work in the two metro cities like Pune also and Bengaluru also. You started working in Pune. So do you notice any difference in between two cities regarding work culture or anything? The peoples in the company.
Yes. Difference. Really, yeah, there is a remarkable difference between Pune and Bangalore if you're working. Bangalore is fast somewhere, I can say. You know, now that is the IT hub. So you
Silicon Valley.
people, it's an adult school. Bangalore is the adult, so everybody will be a one ID card every time you can see. Even there, the way of working is different. People I have seen, pardon me, but in Pune, people are slow because everything is here on not that much costly. The way in Bangalore, the crowds, it's a lot. Pune is not that much crowded. Whatever I have seen, things are not that much costly. The way in Bangalore I have seen, even there is a rush of earning a good package every time. Good package here, the people's mindset is for settlement. If they are getting an average package, they are getting good weather also. Like in Bangalore, they are getting space to live, spacious flat and everything. Here in Bangalore, you are getting small area to live, lots of transition. Here is you're not. So in somewhere, people are getting comfort here, settlement in their mind. So they are slow. They already got whatever they are expecting. So here people are slow, but there is the crowd, rush, everything. Everybody want a very good package. I haven't seen a settlement thing in Bangalore so far. What I have justified.
Then which city is best for you? You think like Bangalore or Pune?
Wherever you have a friends and your family, it's best. And wherever you are getting a very good, it's best for you. Because without friends, what you will, without family, what you will do, without only earning art. So it's depend on person to person. Whether you want a very calm area, if you want a very rush area, because lots of MNCs there want to get be a good techie person, then be in Bangalore. No, not an issue. It's Bangalore is also a great place to be there, and Pune is a place to be relaxed. It's like a chill. We have Lonavala, Khandala, everything is so near Mahabaleshwar. Go enjoy. Nothing. It's person to person. What is your requirement? People are leaving Mumbai also to get some. So some of them are requiring their fast life. So I'm the one who is just looking for a fast life. So because calmness will come later. Yeah, no. It's depend on person to person what your requirement actually.
Yes, Priya. My last question is to you: that what general advice you want to give all the data students or the aspirants who want to successful in this industry?
One thing only, just clear your interest. What is your reason of interest? Second, if your interest, you got your interest where you want to be apply your mind and your time. That if you are shortlisting NLP, then try to understand what are the basic concept NLP, how industry is going with NLP, what are their use cases. If you are data student, whether it is a data analytic or data science, Python will play both the role. Even the SQL is a survival IT. Try to get your basic understanding, please, because every organization here requires basic understanding from a fresher only. A good communication. If you are honest to be a very good communicator, even a good understanding of your algorithms, Python, SQL, even a little bit knowledge of generative AI, it's more than enough to join any good organization, because nobody are expecting apart from more than this to any fresher.
Miss Priya Sinha, it's really great talking with you. Tips and tricks you've given for all the data students and aspirants that will be really helpful for their future to build a great career. Thank you so much for joining with me for this podcast, and thank you so much for coming and accepting my invitation. Thank you so much for that.
You too. Thank you so much, Chaitanya, for inviting me here to talk such a very good manner. I like it. I really like it, and I'm appreciating you also to initiated this such kind of podcast, because in industry freshers and even experience are looking for such kind of podcast, because experienced professionals podcast is very rare in YouTube and everywhere whatever I have seen. So yeah, it is really a good initiative, and thank you so much make me a part of this podcast, and all the best for your future. Bye bye. Take care.
Please let me know in the comment which guest would you like to see on this podcast and any specific topics you would like us to discuss with them. We will try to bring those guests and ask your questions so you will get more helpful information. Before you go, share this episode with someone. It might really help them, because one conversation can change a person's life, giving them a new idea and direction. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you in next video.